IDF says 650 terror operatives captured at Shifa, including Hamas and Islamic Jihad commanders. The Islamic Jihad operatives holed up in the medical center surrendered to the troops. Among them were Hasan Salameh, the commander of PIG's Observation and Intelligence Unit in Gaza City, and his brother Wissam Salameh, head of the terror group's propaganda unit in Gaza City, according to the IDF. Also captured at Shifa are 3 senior officers in Hamas's so-called West Bank headquarters, which is tasked with advancing attacks against Israel from the West Bank, the IDF said. Yeah. It's breaking news, and you should wait for a recording of the phone call by the IDF. Yeah, I'll wait for additional confirmation. IDF says the easiest indicator that you are reading bullshit. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. This is a massive fucking claim. It's not like something that they can just make up. They have done it before. But we'll see. They are named by the Shin Bet as Amr Asida, the head of the Nablus unit, Mohammed Kawazme, one of the planners of the 2014 kidnapping and murder attack of 3 Israeli teens. The detained terror operatives have taken to Israel for further interrogation by the Shin Bet. According to the IDF, troops have so far killed more than 140 gunmen in the raid, which began early Monday and is being carried out by the 401st Armored Brigade, Navy's Shahayatet 13 Commando Unit, other forces. During scans of the hospital, the IDF says soldiers seized weapons and intelligence documents, which contributed to the continuation of the fighting. The fighting at El Shifa is still ongoing and is expected to last several more days until all the terror operatives in the area are captured or killed, according to military officials. They executed 90 of them. Yeah. The thing I don't understand is I thought that Israel had already captured El Shifa. They did a siege on El Shifa. They did a photo op on El Shifa. Right? They literally went through the entire building. Remember the guns that they showed? I thought that they had already basically fucking dug underneath El Shifa. What the fuck's going on? Euromed Monitor. International community must act immediately to stop Israeli army's massacre of Palestinians at the El Shifa hospital. The ongoing Israeli massacre in Gaza City's El Shifa medical complex and surrounding area has left at least 100 Palestinians dead, many of whom were victims of extrajudicial executions after their arrest. The international community must intervene immediately to put an end to this atrocity. Newly released detainees and eyewitnesses told Euromed Human Rights Monitor that Israeli army forces have carried out unlawful killings and executions against displaced Palestinian civilians inside the El Shifa medical complex for 3 days in a row. And that the military operations there are ongoing. A survivor who asked to be identified only as MK confirmed that Israeli soldiers repeatedly took prisoners into the hospital's morgue area, that gunshots were then heard, and that soldiers left without the prisoners. The soldiers detained me and handcuffed me in the hospital courtyard. I was left undressed for more than 9 hours, MK said. About 4 times during that period, I saw soldiers lead groups of detainees, always at least 3 people and never more than 10, into the hospital buildings, particularly the morgue building where bodies had previously been kept. Israeli occupation forces arrest of 94-year-old Palestinian elderly woman Naifa Rizq al-Nwantiti at El Wahda intersection west of Al Shifa Hospital. It's the 4th time the IDF has raided Al Shifa. I mean, yeah, this is why I'm confused. I thought they fucking went in and out. They dug into Al Shifa and they failed to demonstrate that there was a Hamas command and control operations center there. They had fucking journalists. Like they went in and out of it. Like what the fuck is going on? About 4 times during that period, I saw soldiers lead groups of detainees, always at least 3 people and never more than 10, into the hospital buildings, particularly the morgue building where bodies had previously been kept. Gunshots were heard, with the soldiers then leaving the area to bring another group there. No, this is the same hospital. Al Shifa is one of the major hospitals. Another witness who preferred to remain completely anonymous due to safety concerns and who was able to leave Al Shifa Medical Complex recently confirmed to the Euromed Monitor team that he witnessed Israeli forces taking 8 to 10 Palestinian civilians at a time towards the morgue area. He then heard heavy gunfire, and the Israeli forces later left without the civilians. These civilians were likely subjected to unlawful killings and executions, as all the information obtained by Euromed Monitor's field team suggests that since Al Shifa Medical Complex was restored Monday night, 100 Palestinians were killed by Israeli gunfire in and outside of it. They admitted to executing 140 Palestinians in Al Shifa, including children. That's why they're claiming they killed 150 terrorists there. In reality, they just murdered extrajudicially 150 people, some of them civilians, many of them most likely civilians, judging by their civilian to actual enemy combatant casualty numbers so far. The Israeli army has acknowledged that it killed 90 people during the ongoing military operation in Al Shifa Medical Complex. Now, this came yesterday. That number has now reached 150. An international committee must be established to investigate the war crimes and crimes against humanity committed by Israeli forces as part of its genocide campaign, which includes planned killings and executions against civilians that are outside the purview of law and judiciary. Meanwhile, Israel's army is still arbitrarily detaining hundreds of civilians for the third day in a row, including medical personnel and immobile patients, amid an environment of intimidation and heavy Israeli gunfire. About 320 people have already been detained, including journalists, medical personnel, and displaced people, many of whom have been tortured and forced to remain fully nude or dressed in flimsy white clothes. More than half of these individuals have been transported in trucks and military vehicles to Israeli detention facilities. The ongoing events at Al Shifa Medical Complex and the risks faced by civilians there, including patients and healthcare workers and displaced people seeking refuge who are protected by international humanitarian law, are deeply concerning. As hospitals and medical facilities are required to be protected, the international community must take on its responsibilities to protect all Gaza Strip residents and force Israel to end its genocide against Palestinians in the Strip. What is this? An Israeli helicopter is firing in the vicinity of Al Shifa Medical Complex in Gaza, coinciding with multiple artillery explosions. Okay, that video doesn't show anything, though. It's just sounds, and I don't know how valid it is. I'm not calling into question the validity of it, but it's just like not enough for me to show. Regarding the IDF claim on Al Shifa, this photo collage of the IDF shows some of the 358 confirmed terror operatives captured by troops at Gaza City's Shifa Hospital. In all, more than 650 suspects were detained. The Israeli officials this morning said that they were trying to capture as many people as possible to continue on with their investigations, to get more information from, information on like the ground operations of Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad and many other things. Watch out! There's a video where Israel killed 4 people with drones live on tape. Is brutal. Right by the office of the director of the Shifa Hospital, a designated room for Hamas terrorists to operate from, with weapons and terror funds intended for distribution. This is more evidence of Hamas's systematic abuse. Are you fucking kidding me? Really? March 18th is when they released this? Bro, you guys were inside of Al Shifa for fucking 4 months. What the fuck? Or 3 months at this point. Damn, bro. Can't believe they found this, dude. Can't believe they found this right in the eve of, like, on March 18th. Right in the eve of their next fucking line of attack. Odds that they're trying to grab even more hostages, so in the event both sides swap hostages during a ceasefire, they may have even more than the requested amount. Yeah, they're like, look at this. We found Hamas terror tunnel after 3 months of taking over Al Shifa Hospital. We found yet another terror plaque. We had not seen it for 3 months. We found it just now. as we are entering Al Shifa once again. We're in the office of the director of the Shifa Hospital. Come and see what we found. He says this is the office of the director of the Shifa Hospital. Outside, you can see well-known hospital compound, the Qatari building in front, and the emergency room here to the left. Adjacent to the office of the director, there are 2 rooms designated for use by Hamas terrorists. Grenades, mortar shells, bullets, and numerous terror funds were found. Dude. Come on, man! Are you for fucking real? Listen, we found 2 bullets. And once again, here is a terror Quran. This one is annotated. These are terror grenades and terror bullets and terror Quran. More video claimed to be from the hospital. The IDF says 300 terrorist suspects have been detained during the ongoing operation at Shifa Hospital. According to IDF, among the detainees are dozens of prominent terrorists in Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad terror groups. The captured operatives are allegedly involved in directing terror attacks in the West Bank, are members of the Hamas propaganda unit, and members of Islamic Jihad's rocket unit, the IDF says. Suspects detained by the IDF at Shifa are questioned by field interrogators of the Military Intelligence Directorate's Unit 504 before being taken to Israel for further investigation. The IDF also releases footage showing weapons found by troops in an office adjacent to the Shifa director's office. According to the IDF, dozens of gunmen have been killed in the raid so far. I think it is at this point well established that hospitals, of course, have guns inside of them, just like hospitals, of course, have security officials. It is literally a fucking war zone. Duh. Okay? Hospitals have armed security in Gaza. This should not come as a surprise to anyone. They need to have guns to protect the patients, not just from Israeli gunfire, which you can't really do too much of to begin with, because, you know, what are you going to do? How are you going to fucking shoot back against a goddamn sniper drone that's just murking people that are showing up on the windows indiscriminately? But against criminal elements as well, because guess what? Hospitals have a lot of valuable things inside of it, especially in times of an ongoing ethnic cleansing campaign. So therefore, in order to ensure the safety and security of the patients, and also simultaneously stop any kind of criminal elements from coming in to take up what remains of the ascetic amount of drugs that they already have that are that the patients need, you're going to need security. Considering that they killed one of the other civil security forces leadership only a couple days prior in the Al Shifa Hospital, doesn't seem like they give a fuck about any of that stuff and are just basically using this to say, look, I told you there are fucking terrorists in here. Look at this. They have guns. Isn't the IOF calling members?
LPD. תוציא הכל.
Dude, every single thing I see, how do you stay sane and articulate when watching this genocide footage while there are demons trying to justify it? Every single thing I see is insane. Like the fact that there are any fucking people inside of Gaza that have been able to fucking put up any kind of defense against the very well armed Israeli occupying force is wild. These are like bathtub rockets, literally, and bathtub bombs, which, by the way, I don't know if they actually found in the hospital or simply found in the hospital, considering that they were in the hospital for fucking 5 months. What are we talking about? Yeah, here is the latest picture from the Al Shifa Hospital from Hind Khudari, one of the last remaining alive journalists inside of Gaza. Now, remember, why is it in bags, not displayed already? This reenactment is bad actors. Well, how they know it's not armed? Like they manipulate them, like they know it's okay. Yeah, I mean, it is wild to raw dog a bag full of munitions like this without any suspicion that it might be like he's like, just now I am finding weapons, okay? Just now finding weapons in this bag, and it's like you would never touch that bag. Okay, you would never touch that bag. You would literally have an expert go through it because there is no guarantee that that bag is not fucking booby trapped into oblivion. As a matter of fact, in most circumstances, like you can't show the end of the stream even though it's blurred, but they claim this is a video of a shootout with militants at the hospital. Like in every single circumstance, all the weapons left behind would usually be booby trapped. The IDF releases footage showing troops of the Navy Shayetet 13 Commando Unit battling Hamas operatives inside of Gaza City Shifa Hospital. According to the IDF, some 20 gunmen were killed by troops in the area of the hospital. What is this? Let me see. It might be... What? Oh, yes, the RPG storage hallway. Yeah. There was a shootout at the hospital. The resistance shared on their Telegram too. How are you supposed to prove to people who are intent on their belief that all Palestinians are terrorists, that they're being so much Israel propaganda? What? There's just a high chance that they might have forgotten their own fucking booby traps in there. They're so incompetent. Wait, what? No. They released footage. What the heck? The IDF released footage of them engaging in what they say is a gun battle. The only thing you end up seeing is them shooting at a blurred person. I think there's a person there that they're shooting at, but I can't tell if he has a gun or not. And then like them checking corners and throwing grenades and stuff. No one else. And then at the end of it, there's a dead dude, also blurred, with a Kalashnikov on the ground. Okay. There is a dead dude with a Kalashnikov on the ground. It could absolutely, no, don't say plant a gun. Okay. Before you say that, there is a much more realistic scenario where the actual Palestinian security, like hospital security, might have engaged the Israeli commandos that were breaching the fucking hospital. There are rules of engagement when you are dealing with a hospital. Israel is violating said rules every fucking day. You are not supposed to be seizing or sieging a hospital like this. Okay? Israel is doing the criminal thing here. Totally reasonable for the Palestinian security to engage with the IDF at that point. Yes, just like the head of police that they murked. The elite unit of the Palestinian Islamic Jihad send their greetings to the Axis resistance from below the earth in the tunnels of Gaza, specifically northern Gaza, where Israel claims it cleared out and has full control over. Is there TOS in this? This is from the 21st of March, 2024. Jesus Christ. Al-Muqawama al-Islamiyya released footage here saying that they're still operating inside of northern Gaza as Israel claims that they've taken. It says today as Ramadan dawns upon us in the battle of the Aqsa flood, from here, from the bottom of the earth, from the fighting tunnels of the Palestinian Islamic Jihad of the Northern Regiment Elite Unit, we extend our greetings to the Axis of Resistance, Hezbollah, Ansarallah, Iraq, Iran, Yemen, our people in Lebanon, and the Jenin Brigade, and the battalions of the Fearless, and every year, may you be well. Yes, this is not Hamas. This is Islamic Jihad. This is their, this is their their commando unit. That's crazy.
رميت وإذ رميت ولكن الله رمى كرمال شهدائنا كرمال أسرانا الله أكبر ولا
This one is recent too. Hamas video shows intense fighting in Gaza with Israel's military. As far as I understand, Hamas and Islamic Jihad are fighting in the vicinity of the Al Shifa Hospital. This is from a month ago, but not inside of the Al Shifa Hospital. This is an old video. Did you see that they literally have a podcast now? Yeah, I heard. I haven't watched it, but I have heard that they have a podcast apparently. On a separate note, the IDF released this pretty incredible footage the other day. Watch the first 20 seconds. A gunman hides from a drone. The IDF released this footage captured by a drone showing a Hamas gunman waiting to ambush troops inside a building in the Hamad Town residential complex in Han Yunis. The gunman, after being spotted, was killed by troops of the elite Egal's commando. Wait, did they show the dead body here? This one is from the vicinity of Al Shifa. I can't tell if they're they're just blowing up tanks. Yes, the footage is extremely graphic. They get blown to pieces. Okay, I don't want to show this footage if it's extremely graphic. Anyway. Not sure if safe for stream, but this is the video of the 14s targeted by a drone. Al Jazeera clipped the video to not show body parts and dead bodies. Yeah. They're There's new videos like that every day. It's wild. Just saw this depraved man was literally caught crawling after watching 3 people he was with die, and they blew him apart. Oh, you're talking. Okay, because there is so many fucking footage. There's so much footage from inside of Gaza. I think people are getting confused. Okay, you're getting confused, and you're also kind of confusing me as well, with respect to what footage you're referencing. Hold on 1 second. Oh, Jesus Christ. What? Breaking. Israeli airstrikes target the gates of Al Amal Orphanage Institute on Wahda Street in Gaza City. Jesus. They are talking about the Al Jazeera footage from the fallen Israeli drone. Yeah. Al Jazeera got the footage from an Israeli drone Hamas took down, by the way. It would have been lost forever if Hamas didn't get it. Let me see. Let me watch this footage to see if it's like okay for stream.
منطقة السكة في خان يونس بجنوب قطاع غزة التي شهدت قصفا إسرائيليا وعمليات عسكرية منذ بدء التوغل في المحافظة الجنوبية أوائل ديسمبر الماضي.
There's just 4 civilians walking. I'll show you this part at least. This is drone footage that Al Jazeera showed from a downed Israeli drone. It's basically just it's the footage of the 4 guys walking. It absolutely is not safe. Okay, I'm not going to show you the rest of it, but it's just four dudes walking, no guns, nothing. Okay, they're just walking, and you can clearly see.
الشبان وهم يسيرون بين ركام خلفته طائرات وقذائف الاحتلال وعلى طريق أشبعتها آلياته تجريفا. حصلت طول
Holy fuck.
منذ ما قبل 7 من أكتوبر. ويبدو واضحا من الصور
Oh
أن
my God.
الفلسطينيين لا يحملون السلاح ولا يشكلون خطرا على أي شيء أو أي أحد. صاروخ يستهدف الشبان فيستشهد منهم 2. لا يمكن عرض الصور.
There's a 5th guy walking ahead,
أحد عودة للموقع
and he starts running.
أن أحد الشبان يتحرك.
Or I think he's like still walking in a straight line. What the fuck?
والمسيرة ومن يشغلها.
I don't want to show. It's blurry. They blur all the fucking dead bits and pieces. The same 4 guys, 2 survives, and they follow up. Oh, it's the same 4 guys. They blow up the 4 dudes walking. One of them is like on the ground, crawling. The other one starts like picking up his pace while limping. They blow him up. They track him and they blow him up. There's another guy that falls to the ground and he's crawling and they blow him up as well.